So if you're like me and you want to get the heck up out of America for whatever reason, because there are many reasons, I'm going to share 5 different quick and easy ways on how to move abroad this year. And some of these ways are paid as well. Hey guys, my name is Mariah. I'm a travel enthusiast, blogger, vlogger, all of that. And 2 years ago, I moved abroad to Spain. I applied to move abroad in January, and by September, I booked a one-way flight. So during my time living abroad in Europe, I met several different people that lived abroad as well from the States, and I found out so much about different programs on how to live abroad. I'm going to share 5 of the quickest and easiest ways with you. So the first one is teaching abroad, like full-time teaching. This is a little more long-term. You do get a salary or hourly pay, and this is really popular in countries like Japan, Thailand, China, Taiwan, etc. So the requirements to be a full-time English teacher abroad is, of course, having your bachelor's degree and then also having a TEFL or TEFL certification, which is not hard to obtain at all. I know several people that were able to get their TEFL certification within a few months. You do have to just take some online classes that, of course, are not free. But once you get your TEFL certification, there's several platforms that you can apply to different jobs depending on what country or region you want to go to. And once you get accepted, they give you everything in order to apply for a visa, and you become a resident in that country, and now you have a legal job. There are several regions and countries like Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates that pay a pretty penny for this job. Like, people are making really good salaries. Keep in mind the cost of living is a little lower or much lower in these countries, so people are living really well. And like I was saying, some countries where this is really popular is South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, China, Vietnam, places like that. Now, a step down, a step easier than teaching full-time abroad is by being a language assistant or by doing a cultural exchange program. And this is the route that I went through myself. And basically, it's the same thing as teaching abroad. It's just kind of short-term, and it's also part-time. The way I would see this is like, you're like the foreign exchange teacher. So basically, you are kind of teaching the language, but more in a cultural standpoint, and you more so assist teachers than lead the whole class. At least you're supposed to be assisting the teachers. This is a little more short-term teaching abroad fully, because this is kind of contractual. So you do it like for a whole school year or half a school year, and then you have to renew. Whereas once you get a job teaching abroad, it's kind of just, it rotates and keeps going. 2 countries where I know this cultural exchange is really popular is France and Spain. I know in France they have the TAPIF program, which is really popular, and basically I kind of went through the same thing, but I went through the Spanish version, which is called the NOWCAP program, or Auxiliares de Conversación. And the reason why it's kind of a step down from teaching abroad is because the salary is also a step down. You normally work more part-time hours, which means you have more free time to yourself because you're working less. But if this is the only job you're going to be doing abroad, you are going to get paid less. For myself, I applied to do this program through Spain. I applied in January. By July, I had my visa, and by September, I took a one-way flight to Spain, and the rest was history. Day-to-day looked like me assisting teachers, teaching classes, doing activities, answering questions, and just kind of brushing up students' language in bilingual schools. This is best for people who want to live abroad for a few months, test it out, test out the waters. But like I said, you can renew. There's people who's done the program for like 5-6 years. But what I noticed with this program versus people who just teach abroad with their TEFL certification is that people who teach abroad with their TEFL certification normally want to live, like full out live in whatever country they're going to, whereas people who do this program just want to live abroad but come back home for summers, move to different cities and things like that. So it's a little less permanent, more short term, but like I said, it comes with that part-time pay. And a lot of people that do this program have to come back home to work to build their savings so that they can go back to France, Spain, whatever country does this program. If you would like me to specifically talk about the program I went through to move to Spain, I can definitely do that, especially because applications open up at the end of the month. So if you want tips on how to do that, if you're interested, want to send in an application just in case, I can definitely talk more about that. Third way to move abroad in 2025 is also pretty simple and pretty common, especially in Europe, and this is by becoming an au pair. An au pair to me is basically a nanny, and I've met a lot of au pairs when I went to places like Switzerland, Germany, France. A lot of people live in Paris as an au pair, and when you're an au pair, it's clearly temporary. You can quit whenever you want to. This is more so for people that just want to travel or have an extended stay abroad but still want some type of income. And basically, you're a nanny. Some people live like in a host home and have a room in a home. Some people, their au pair family does provide them with a home, however it's set up, if it is an apartment, whatever the case is, but they normally get paid by getting a small stipend. So I know the biggest issue with being an au pair is that If this is your only income and you don't have a heavy savings, it might not be enough to support you. But if you want to move abroad just for the experience and you don't mind living on a budget, then being an au pair might be for you. You will just have to pass a background check, and then there are so many platforms where you can just kind of filter it for what country or what region or continent you want to go to and look for what they're looking for and apply. And it's pretty easy to get a job. And of course, when you do it this way, you can get the required documents to apply for a visa as well. The fourth way to move abroad, which is also really popular if you're like in Europe or Asia, you'll see several people that are studying abroad and doing a study/work abroad program. This is for people that are in school, so you can be an undergrad or in grad school. You can work through an international school or through a school in your country that has like an international campus, an international program, and they have several programs where they can give you part-time work. So you'll kind of be paid or paying for your program. Now this way isn't necessarily free, but I will say international schools are normally dramatically cheaper than they are in the States. So if you want to further your education, add some accolades to your degree, also live abroad, you're probably going to get a master's or go to school and get a degree anyway. You can look into doing it abroad for cheaper and you get the experience of living abroad as well. And like I said, there's many work abroad programs that go along with studying abroad, so you can pay your way through living abroad as well. So some popular countries I know that do this are Germany, not Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and Sweden. There's several Americans that are studying there but also have jobs that support their living there as well. And in some countries you can do a post-study work visa, so you can actually just live there afterwards if you apply for a visa. The last way, which I say isn't for everyone, I think this one is more for my entrepreneurial people and people that have a savings, have something else to rely on, because I wouldn't fully recommend this unless you are 100% secure in what you're doing. But the next one is remote work or a digital nomad visa. So a lot of countries are allowing people that are not from their country to apply for a digital nomad visa. So you pretty much can live in that country for an extended period of time, and you just have to show paperwork showing that you have a job and you know you're gonna add to their economy with the money you're making from your job. I know a lot of freelancers, digital marketing, social media managers, people that do a lot of work online normally fit for this job. But like I said, you know, you still got to get paid to live abroad. There's still fees, even though it's normally cheaper than living in the States. So what I would recommend if you want to go this route is securing a job with a salary if possible. We live in a remote world, even though I feel like we're kind of getting further and further away from it. But if you apply for a remote job with a company that doesn't mind you working from anywhere, then boom, you can use that to apply for a digital nomad visa. Or you can do more freelance work. You can still use that to apply for a digital nomad visa. Some popular destinations for a digital nomad visa are Portugal, Croatia, Spain now, Estonia. So yeah, if you're looking to move abroad, definitely do research on whichever program or whichever route you feel like works best for you and what you want to do. But it's definitely not as hard as you think. Definitely can be a little time consuming and a little stressful, but once you get your visa, you can live your best life abroad. And even if you don't want to do it long term, sometimes just do it for the plot. I feel like I definitely moved abroad for the plot. I just wanted to travel Europe and have it being easily accessible and close to me. Go for it, do some research. You'd be surprised at how easy it actually is to move abroad because there's so many different programs. Yeah, I hope I gave you guys some pointers, and stay tuned for my weekly uploads. I upload every Sunday, and yeah, thanks for watching.